So this episode we're going to talk about contradictions and the people who make them. So faith. Faith is important to religion. Religions require faith, and that's good because it's really good to have faith. And so there's a contradiction, I think, in the lack of faith that the leaders of Christianity seem to show. And I can understand losing faith in humanity and struggle with it, and it doesn't make me question God to question His creation. But like in protecting your privacy and stuff, most people are for privacy except for the ones that really want to jump down your throat and tell you what you need to do. And those are the ones that, privacy to me would be like not having to be around those people. If I was going to be somewhere private, I wouldn't want any of those jackasses around. And they seem to be the ones that want to stick their little video cameras in everything and have their shit to say. Pretty soon, I wouldn't be surprised if they put video cameras in the shower to make sure you don't pee in the shower. And there'll be hackers out there to fucking hack your shower cam so that it'll always display footage of you not peeing in the shower, and that way you can go on with your private life pissing away in the shower if that's what you want to do. But it seems like there's really a lot of people out there that they want to watch and make sure that everything's going okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, but there is a connection between the Republican Party and the Christian right? Nobody talks about like any other party having connections. I'm sure there's some Christian right Democrat types. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't really see much difference between Democrats and Republicans if they're both on the same payroll. And I know Republicans used to be Democrats and Democrats used to be Republicans back in the day. But now we're talking about like how we used to have church and state separated, but we don't really have that anymore because like George Bush is pretty open about how he thinks he's doing what God tells him to do, and he didn't really care what you think because he knows that he's doing what God tells him to do. So I definitely say that there's a connection there between religion and this authority that we have as our government with all the power. But it seems like they're lacking in faith. They're more superstitious about stuff than anything. They think that a plant's going to make you go crazy and perform poorly at work. Maybe you were performing poorly at work because you just didn't give a shit, and it wouldn't be the plant one or the other. Sure, you shouldn't smoke weed and drive a backhoe, or maybe, you can, if you're good at driving a backhoe, you can smoke all the weed you want, or fly a plane. I'm not sure I'd want to, ride in a plane where the pilot was up there smoking blunts, unless somebody else was rolling the blunts, of course, and you didn't ever have to stop, because, I've never seen anybody, have a wreck because they were high. And for the most part, I think people who are high drive a lot better because they're being more careful, because they've been taught to be afraid of themselves and their actions when they're stoned or whatever. But you know, Christian religion, I thought, said something about it's not what goes into your mouth, but what comes out of it that matters. And so they're really worried about the things you put in your mouth, especially if it was like smoke or on fire before you put it in your mouth. Like, that's not okay with them, and that's kind of superstitious belief to me. The kind of belief that we should try to get away from, because it's just a chemical. It's it's not God. It's not the devil. And there's really, this is not the arena of God and the devil. This is really just sort of like a choice to eat or smoke something because that's what you do, if that's what you do. And and so, I mean, everybody knows marijuana is illegal because of a lot of really twisted reasons that have more to do with the paper industry, the logging industry, the textile industry, the alcohol industry, many industries that benefit from the lack of weed on the scene. Um, Paper industry would have to switch processes over and make hemp paper if that was what you called for and it was legal, and timber and stuff wouldn't happen so much. You wouldn't need so many trees cut down because, well, weed can take care of that. And so, I mean, everybody knows that there's a lot of reasons that, kind of like an alibi or whatever, the reasons that we might suspect that weed is illegal for reasons other than just to protect us. And we'll get back to that. Another reason everybody knows that weed is illegal because black people and Indians from India liked to smoke it prior to their having encountered us. It was just something they did, and they kind of liked to do it. It was no big thing, um, but you know, we don't want our white boys mixing and picking up all them ways of the foreigners, and so it's probably best to demonize the foreigners and all their activities, any plants they like to smoke or drink. Unless we can really capitalize on this, make a market, it's probably best to just make it illegal. Would you say? Yeah, yeah. So back to back to that one reason that weed was illegal. Um, or well, you would think that the only reason that your loving government would make something illegal is to protect you from it. Um, it's a plant. I'm not afraid of it. I mean, it's not like kudzu or anything. You really kind of need to protect you should, if you see kudzu coming, you probably ought to move your house or burn the kudzu down. But weed, no, it's not known for traveling very fast. It's not going to outrun you. You really don't have any reason to be afraid of it. Oh, wait, the people who smoke weed, yeah, they're scary because like they have all these different ideas which they get from talking to one another a lot. I mean, that's what pot smokers do, is talk to each other. It's kind of like, like when you see somebody you don't know, but you know they smoke weed, you can be like, hey, you want to go smoke a joint? It's kind of a thinly veiled excuse to just hang out. I mean, you enjoy that moment of meeting someone, and it's like it gets to always be that way for you if you're a pothead, and that's what's wonderful, is that when you get high with somebody, you're right there. You're hanging out with them. You're talkative or not. It's not something you can generalize about, but definitely nothing to be afraid of. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't really see myself doing any like dangerous behavior, just because I smoked weed. I can't think of any time I've ever really endangered someone.